Today we're going to cover 3 different LED lights that are going to help you with your workflow when it comes to your lighting in movies or photography, and they're all under $200, but stick around to the end because I'm saving the best for last, of course. These lights that we're covering today are all continuous lighting, none of them are flash photography, but the bonus is this way you can set up your whole scene with your lighting, get it exactly how you want it to look in camera, and then you can do your video or take photos depending on which way you're going with it. This is the most common lighting that people buy when they first start out. This is one of my ones. I've got a bunch of these. They're actually really handy to put behind lamps and put in certain areas and so on. This particular model no longer is available, so we're going to talk about the equivalent to this light that's currently on the market. Has all the same stats, does all the same things. It's made by Niwa. These lights are about 5.5 inches long. They come with a clip-on diffuser and also a clip-on orange filter. Of course, you can take these filters off and just run it bare with the LEDs, but the light will be more harsh. There's also 176 LEDs in this panel. This light has a 1/4 inch thread, so you can fit it on top of a light stand or on top of a camera if you've got a ball mount, or on top of a tripod. Of course, they don't come with a battery, which is quite frustrating, but they do take an NP550 battery, or a 570 or a 970 battery. And these lights, of course, are completely dimmable. They go down to almost 0 to really bright. And you can just control it with a dial that's on the back. If you want more of a colour range, you have to start using things like gels to put over the front of the LEDs to give you different colours. The only thing I don't like is I find the orange filter, I hardly ever use it because it's way too orange. But I do run these lights all the time, pretty much using the diffuser. And this light is a great entry point if you're just starting out with your lighting, because you can use these, they're quite versatile. You can put them anywhere, you can put them under things, on top of things, behind things. You can get really interesting lighting effects with them, and they only retail for about $40. There is a link down below for the light, the battery and the battery charger. Alright, next up, I use these lights for everything. In fact, I'm using one of them right now for this video. The model number for this light is the Niwa NL288RC. These lights are absolutely awesome for many reasons, but the first one is that they plug into power, so you can run them all day if you need to. The second thing is they do take 2 batteries in the back, so you can run them remotely, which is very handy. Especially if you're filming on the run and you need to get things done quickly, you can just move them around. You don't have to worry about plugging in, you don't have to worry about PowerPoints. So if you're on set for a movie or a short film, and it's usually run and gun kind of technique, you just grab your stand and move it, grab your stand and move it, get your lighting right and go. Of course, these lights are 100% dimmable from almost nothing to really goddamn bright. The light we've got running now is running on about 22%. Now, these don't come with a battery, of course, they never do for some reason, but they do take the same batteries as the small LED panels as well. So if you're looking to get both, you can get the same batteries, which is the NPF550 or the NPF970. The lights have built-in diffusers as well, which is really good. They also come with a really good light stand mount that's completely adjustable. You've got full range of movement from up to down, and they'll go on any light stand. They also have a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom, so if you don't have a light stand, you can use a tripod, for instance, or you can put a ball mount on the bottom and put them straight on your camera. Though it would be quite large on top of your camera, I probably wouldn't want to be looking into it and filming at the same time because you'd go goddamn blind. I personally have 2 of these, so I can use these in more versatile setup, but I'm currently using only one right now because the lighting seems to be quite nice, so I've kept it that way. These lights also come with a remote control, so you can control how much power it's putting out and also whether you want warm or cool lighting. I find this to be hugely helpful if your hands are off camera and you're in front of the camera and you want to control your lighting a little bit. You can do it as you go. Do I recommend these lights? Hell yeah, I recommend these lights. They're fantastic. I've put a link down below to the light in a kit, which comes with a battery and a charger as well to make your life a lot easier. I've also put a link to a light stand down there if you need it as well. These lights go for a grand total of $110. Alright, the last one, but the best one. I absolutely love this goddamn light. This light is the Yongnuo YN363 Pro. If you're going to buy this light, make sure you get the Pro because it has a few features that the others don't have. This, of course, is a stick light, so you can use it anywhere. It's full RGB control, which means you can get any color on the spectrum. Perfect example is a photo shoot of a Mustang we recently did. I put the light into blue mode, and then I moved the light across the top of the car so it would reflect across the body of the car in long exposure photography. And then, of course, I just painted out me from the background. So the way the blue lights have moved over this car was actually done in camera, it wasn't done in Photoshop. But if you've got a cool car you want to do video of or photography of, you can change the color of this, put it under the car, and it looks like the car is glowing from underneath. There's so many ways you can use this light. You can put it inside tubes, you can put it behind things. If you've got a horror scene where there's something red glowing from in a doorway, you can put it behind the door and the character can walk up to a red glowing room. All those kind of things. The possibilities for this thing are quite endless. This light's about 23 inches long, and it takes the same battery as the other 2 lights that I was talking about before, except I use a bulkier one. I use the NP-F-970 on mine, but it will take the smaller batteries that the small LED panel takes. So if you buy a bunch of these batteries, you can use them across all three of these lights, which is one of the reasons why I talked about them today. It's fully adjustable from 3200 Kelvin to 5600. It's also dimmable, so you have full control of your white light spectrum, but it's also dimmable as well for all your colors as well. So if you flick it to color mode, you can use them in all different scenarios in any color you want, and it's dimmable, so you can turn the brightness up and down. Completely adjustable, which is what I love about it. Now it comes with a remote that pops out of the holder, or you can use it in the holder if you want. So as you're using it, you just use the remote. But the coolest feature I found about this is it also uses an app. You can completely control all the settings on this light via your app. So you can have someone else running a light and you can control it exactly how you want. In a situation where you're using long exposure photography, you could fire off your shot for your long exposure, and as the person is moving around with the light around your object, you can control the brightness, color and all that stuff as you go, which means you can create a rainbow effect through your lighting if you need to. That's just one of the many uses you can use it for. It's got a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom, so it'll sit on a tripod. Although putting this on a tripod as it is, being a long thin stick, I would be worried that someone might knock it or break it. But if you need to do it, you can do it. So 3 lights under 200 bucks, and the batteries are all interchangeable across 3 lights. So if you bought all 3, for instance, you could use all the same batteries and you can just keep things charging all the time. I have a bunch of these batteries and chargers because I have a whole bunch of those $40 panels, so I just use the batteries wherever I can use them. So the question is, which 3 should you buy? Well, if you're just starting out and you're looking for an easy, cheap light setup and you just want to do a couple of little videos around the house, or you're doing some YouTube channels or YouTube vlogging, maybe you're at a desk or something like that, then that $40 light will do great for you. If you're doing things like I'm doing, which you're doing YouTube and doing short films, and I work on feature films every now and then, sometimes I need my own gear because it's always indie productions, the 18-inch panels are a great all-rounder as well. Having said that, I still take the small ones, so I use them both. Now, if you're into car photography or car video and you love light reflections and how light bends around things and so on, then the light stick is the light for you. If you don't do any of the other things, you don't need the other lights, you just use a light stick. And as I said, the bonus is you can put it on top of a tripod if you needed to, so you can still use it as a standalone light if you have to. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button, I really appreciate it. And click on the video above for 3 products that you definitely need to have. See you in the next video. Thanks, bye.